simple. You'll only be working in the thoracic region. She hasn't done it yet. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do, you're going to need to remove or cut the left lung. Okay? Not my cat. I don't have a cat because we ran out of cats. So this is another instructor's cat who hasn't cut it yet. Pull the lung over. You're going to need to cut in this region here. So go snip and pull the lung out gently. Okay? Because what you'll need to do, you'll want to clean this left side so you can see this vessel. You guys see that vessel right there? Yeah. That vessel is the aorta. That's the descending aorta, okay? So you need to remove the left lung so you can get a better view. You do a lot of cleaning. And then, and she hasn't done this either, and I'm not gonna mess with her cat. This is but the cat's pericardium. Pinch the pericardium, cut it, and cut the pericardium like so, and separate the heart. And free the heart, and then you'll be able to see the auricles and the right chamber and the left chamber, stuff like that. I will go to each group and actually show you all that stuff, but I'll need you to cut it first. And then I want you to really clean this area, which she hasn't done either. And again, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to get mad. I don't want to get yelled at. Because I want you to look at the great vessels of the heart. And I kind of did it over here a bit, but you please really clean it so that you can see this. Check that out. You see that vessel right there that I'm lifting up? That is your brachiocephalic, not yours, the cat's brachiocephalic trunk, right? Isolate that and then clean upwards. If you do that, you will get to see the split of 3 vessels here. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So this first vessel here, that is your subclavian. This is the cat's right common carotid. And then this one is the cat's left common carotid on this specimen. So just clean with your thumb, clean this area here, get rid of the thymus gland, we don't need it. This second vessel you see here, what do you guys think that is? That second vessel. That's the left subclavian. Good. For the carotids, you need to find one of them here. So here's a right common carotid. Now, running alongside the common carotid is a nerve. This nerve. This is your vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve comes from what? What cranial nerve?
10.
10.
Oh, yeah.
It's 10, right? So the vagus nerve hitches a ride alongside with the common carotid inside a sheath known as the carotid sheath. Okay? So just isolate one of the vagus nerves, you'll be fine. And then when you remove the lung, you can also isolate one of the phrenic nerves. The phrenic nerve, the easiest to find it is to find it on the right side, and it's traveling alongside of the heart. So on this cat, this is the phrenic nerve. This little thing that I'm holding up here, it's traveling like this. It's going like that. This is my cat. This cat's phrenic nerve on the left. Now the phrenic nerve innervates what?
The diaphragm.
Diaphragm. And you need to remember that it comes from the cervical section. C3, 4, and 5. Keep the diaphragm alive. Okay? You have one on the left. There's one on the right. Just get one on the left. It's fine. Okay? Remove the left lung, and you can also look for another interesting nerve, and it runs along the spine, and it looks like dental floss. This nerve here is called the sympathetic trunk, right? And the sympathetic trunk, when you isolate it, it's gonna feel like it's stuck. That's because when running, as the nerve is running along the spine, segmental nerves are coming off of it, right? And they run along the ribs, okay? Just isolate one of the sympathetic nerves, okay? Now, for the right lung, I mean, you don't need to remove it completely yet. I would, but don't do it yet. But on the right side, I want you to find the azygous vein. You see that vein right there? This is the azygous. See that? Azygous, azygous. And what was interesting about the azygous?
It branches off the tributary.
That's the last tributary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the azygous vein is the last tributary to the superior vena cava, which, hey, this is the superior vena cava. So, and this is the esophagus, is the last vessel that drains into the superior vena cava. Okay? Speaking of the superior vena cava, if you clean your area nicely here, you will see a split. A split right along here. You guys see that split right there? One in here. This one, that is known as the right brachiocephalic vein. And this is the left brachiocephalic vein. Okay? So just know that. Left brachiocephalic vein, right brachiocephalic vein, superior vena cava, azygos, aorta. Get two branches of the aorta. Remove the left lung so you can see the brachiocephalic trunk and the left common carotid artery. Sorry, left subclavian. Okay? And that's really the dissection for today, the thoracic region. But we're not done yet. That's the dissection, but you will also need to, I'm gonna get something over here. We have sheep hearts that you need to practice with. And we also have a cow heart. So I'll go over to cow heart towards the end. I'll just put out a sheep heart now. You can bet that you will see these hearts on the exam. You may see a couple of them, or even the big one. I don't know yet. These hearts will be on the exam. So you're going to need to practice with them. So you need to stick your fingers through the chambers and through the tubes. Because on the exam, I can point to a chamber and ask you, where did blood just come from? Where is blood going? What's its next step, right? One of the best ways to do that is to practice. So the first thing you need to do when you pick up a heart is to orientate it. Is this anterior? Or is this anterior? Is that anterior? I have no idea. So look for what thing I said.
Coronary artery?
Not the coronary artery. Look for a vessel that's going diagonal. Not this one. This vessel is going diagonal. You see that? Which means that this has to be the left ventricle. This has to be the right ventricle. Let's open it up and see if it's true. Oh, look at that. It is true. So this tells me that this is anterior. This is posterior. Great. Now when you do that, you now look at the inside. Now, looking at the inside, this thing where I'm sticking my probe in, this is technically the right atrium. This is the right ventricle. Okay? Right atrium, right ventricle, and do you see this valve right here? What valve do you think that is? That's the tricuspid valve. Excellent. Now, we go over here, right here where my probe is in, that is the left atrium. This is the left ventricle. You can clearly see that the heart on the left side is thicker, the chamber is thicker than the right. Okay? Now, you see these strings? What were these called? No, the strings. Anyone?
Hard to pronounce.
Chordae tendineae.
Chordae tendineae?
Yeah. These are called chordae tendineae or chordae tendineae, however you want to pronounce it. But it's chordae tendineae, right? And they're anchored to these nipple-like structures. There's one, and here's one. That and that, right? And these were called what? Papillary muscles. Excellent. If you take a look at inside the right ventricle, you can see the indentations. What were those indentations called? No. In this case, it's trabeculae carneae. Okay? All right. So now, if I stick my probe through this tube, what tube is that? What do you think that is?
Pulmonary.
The what? This is the pulmonary trunk. If this is the pulmonary trunk, Where is the end of my probe in right now? The tip of my probe.
Oh.
Where is it in right
The
now?
valve.
The right ventricle.
Oh.
Look at that. It is. Sorry, I'll show you guys. It is in the right ventricle. See that? Right? Right? Okay. So, what if I stick my probe through this chamber? What vessel do you think this is? Does everyone agree? This is the aorta. If this is the aorta, what chamber is it in at the moment? The left what?
Ventricle.
The left ventricle. See if that's true. Hey, look at that. That is crap. Come on. See, that is true. Right? Right? What vessel do you think this one could be then?
It's superior vena.
Nope.
Oh, that's the brachiocephalic.
Brachiocephalic.
Yeah, because if this was the aorta, then this is the brachiocephalic trunk, right? What chamber do you think? What vessel do you think this is?
Superior vena cava. No, that's the
Right common.
left superior.
Yeah.
SVC.
This is the superior vena cava.
Yeah.
If this is the superior vena cava, what chamber am I in now? Right what?
Atrium.
Right atrium. Look at that. I am in the right atrium. See that? Okay. What vessel is this?
Is that a right common?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Right.
I'll give you a hint.
Inferior.
That's the inferior vena cava. It's pretty neat, right? What about this? What would have been here in this big hole right here? What would have gone here? That was cut out. Not pulmonary trunk. Starts with a P and then the other word starts with a B.
Pulmonary vein?
Pulmonary veins would have entered in here. This is the left atrium. Pulmonary veins would have gone through here. They're cut. Oh, and then you see these little things here? These are the auricles. There's the right auricle. There's the left auricle. There's the apex. Here's the base. Okay? And this is the anterior interventricular branch of the left coronary artery. Okay? I highly recommend that you guys, each group, grab a heart, stick your probe in it, and figure out what chamber is it in now. Because on the exam, I won't just say, what chamber is this? Nah, that's too easy. For the most part, we'll say, we could ask, what structure did blood just pass through? And what do you guys think is the answer?
Pulmonary artery.
Nope.
That's clavius.
Nope.
Wait, okay.
It passed through the bicuspid valve. See? Because this is the left ventricle. Here's the bicuspid valve. And the question was, what structure did blood just pass through? It passed through the bicuspid valve. You need to be able to go forward and backwards. Remember how I made you do the tracings? That's because of that. And then we're going to add peripheral circulatory system, more vessels, and you need to go back and forth if it's a vein or an artery. Okay? So practice. Other than that, any questions? Have at it.